Archangel Michael says, someone wants to marry you and their name is. Be still for a moment, my child. Do not rush past this feeling that made your heart pause when you arrived here. There is a reason your spirit felt a quiet pull, like a whisper brushing against your thoughts. Not everything that matters announces itself loudly. Some truths arrive softly, wrapped in mystery, waiting to see if you will lean closer instead of turning away. I did not come with thunder this time. I came with a hush, because what I am about to speak was written long before fear learned your name. Before your first breath touched the air, before your eyes opened to light, before the world placed its expectations on your shoulders, something sacred was already moving. Threads were being woven in a place beyond time. You were not alone in that moment, even though you could not yet know it. There was a name spoken there. Not aloud, but in light. A name placed gently into the fabric of your destiny. A name that would one day feel familiar to your soul, even if your mind resisted it at first. I know you have wondered if love like that is real. I know there were nights when you doubted it, when you thought maybe you were asking for too much, or dreaming of something that only exists in stories. You told yourself to be practical, to lower your expectations, to protect your heart. You learned to smile while carrying disappointment quietly. You learned how to appear fine while your heart asked questions you were afraid to speak. Yet even in those moments, something inside you refused to fully shut down. That small spark of hope you tried to silence never truly died. Your heart was never meant to live behind walls forever. It was designed to recognize what was written for it. And what was written for you has not been erased by time, mistakes, or delay. No season you walked through was wasted. No tear you shed was ignored. Every prayer you whispered, even the ones you doubted while praying, was heard. Even your silence spoke. Listen to me now, not with fear, but with the part of you that still hopes quietly. Someone wants to marry you. Not out of convenience. Not out of pressure. Not out of loneliness. This desire did not begin recently. It did not come from the chaos of the world. It was planted before you were born, when your soul was known fully and loved without condition. This is not chance. This is alignment. If this truth touches your heart, pause for a moment and let it settle. Do not analyze it away. If your spirit feels calm reading this, if something inside you feels seen, type 111 in the comments as a sign that your heart is open to receive what is meant for you. You may ask why it has taken so long. Why the road has been winding. Why you had to walk through endings that hurt so deeply. Why promises were made and broken. Why you loved people who could not love you back in the way you deserved. Understand this now, delay is not denial. Preparation often feels like loss when you do not yet see the full picture. Every disappointment refined you. Every heartbreak taught you discernment. Every season of waiting strengthened your ability to recognize truth when it finally stands in front of you. You learned what love is not so you could recognize what love truly is. You learned the difference between attention and intention. You learned the cost of giving more than you received. You learned how to stand alone so that when partnership comes, it will be from strength, not fear. Nothing was random. Nothing was accidental. The one whose name is written into your destiny has been on their own journey too. They have been shaped by their own trials, corrected by their own mistakes, softened by their own tears. There were moments when they almost gave up on the idea of love, just as you did. There were times they wondered if they had missed their chance, if what they longed for was already gone. But something inside them never let the idea of you disappear completely, even when they did not yet know your face. They were learning patience while you were learning self-worth. They were healing while you were learning boundaries. They were being prepared to meet you with clarity, not confusion. This is what alignment looks like. Not perfection, but readiness. If you believe that what is meant for you is also being prepared for you, write 222 in the comments and affirm this truth. What is meant for me will not miss me. This is what I mean when I say cosmic alignment. It is not sudden chaos. It is quiet order returning. It is two paths that were always meant to cross finally drawing close enough to feel each other's presence. You may sense it already, a shift you cannot explain. Old attachments feel weaker. Old fears do not grip you the same way. You are less willing to settle, less willing to betray your own heart just to avoid being alone. That is not coincidence. That is readiness. You are no longer impressed by words alone. You are no longer satisfied by half-effort. You crave sincerity, consistency, and peace. That craving did not come from nowhere. It came because your spirit knows what is coming and refuses to accept less. Do not be alarmed by how close this is. Sometimes destiny feels frightening when it is near, because it asks you to release control. You are standing at a doorway, and what waits on the other side is not chaos, but commitment. Not confusion, but clarity. Not fleeting affection, but a desire rooted in choice and reverence. This person does not see you as a chapter to pass through. They see you as a home. If the idea of being chosen without having to prove yourself brings emotion to your chest, pause here and type 333. Let this be your affirmation: I allow myself to be loved without fear. You may worry about timing. About whether you are ready. About whether you are enough. Hear me clearly now, you were never asked to be perfect. You were asked to be present. The love coming toward you does not require you to perform or pretend. It recognizes you even in your quiet moments, even in your tiredness, even in the parts of you that still feel tender and raw from old wounds. This is not love that consumes you, that pulls at your energy until there is nothing left. This is love that stands with you, steady and unwavering, like a quiet harbor after a long storm. This connection will not drain you. It will steady you. It will not demand you abandon yourself or twist into shapes that no longer fit. It will meet you where you are, right here, in the middle of your becoming, and grow with you, slowly, organically, like roots finding their way through soil. This person is not arriving to fix you, as if you were something broken waiting for repair. They are arriving to walk beside you, to share the path, to witness your steps without judgment. There will be signs, gentle at first, almost imperceptible if you are not paying attention. A conversation that lingers in your thoughts long after it ends, replaying not because of drama or intensity, but because of a quiet depth that feels like coming home. A sense of familiarity that surprises you, as if your souls have brushed against each other in some other lifetime, in some other form. A feeling of peace where you expected anxiety, where your chest loosens instead of tightens, where your breath comes easier. Pay attention to how your body responds, not just your mind. The mind can spin stories, can doubt and analyze and second-guess. But the body knows truth. It softens in the presence of what is real. True alignment brings calm, not constant confusion. It does not rush you into decisions or force you to prove your worth. It simply invites you forward, one gentle step at a time. You may notice that you laugh more easily around them, that the sound comes from a place deeper than performance, from a joy that feels unforced and genuine. That silence feels safe instead of awkward, filled not with tension but with a comfortable understanding, as if words are optional rather than necessary. That you do not feel the need to explain or defend your emotions, to justify why you feel the way you do or apologize for taking up space. These are not small things. These are confirmations, quiet whispers from the universe saying, yes, this is it. This is the ease you have been waiting for. If you are ready to trust the signs instead of doubting them, type 444 and affirm, I trust the peace that love brings. Do not let fear speak louder than truth. Fear will tell you that good things do not last, that people change without warning, that promises break like glass under pressure. Fear speaks from memory, from the echoes of past hurts, from the times you opened your heart only to have it handed back bruised. But what is written for you is not fragile. It has survived distance that felt insurmountable, time that stretched on endlessly, misunderstanding that clouded everything, and silence that seemed to say it was over. It has waited patiently, not because it was weak or unsure, but because it was real, rooted in something deeper than fleeting emotion. I know you have learned to be strong on your own. I know independence became a shield, a necessary armor after trusting too much too soon. I know you told yourself you did not need anyone, because needing once hurt too much, because vulnerability felt like standing on the edge of a cliff with no one to catch you. But strength does not mean refusing love. Strength also means allowing yourself to be chosen, to be cherished without earning it every day, to be met halfway without having to drag the other person across the line. It means softening the edges of that shield, not to leave yourself defenseless, but to let in what is safe. This union is not about losing yourself in someone else's story. It is about being seen without shrinking, without dimming your light to make them comfortable. It is about being loved without begging, without having to perform gratitude or perfection to keep it. It is about sharing life without fear of abandonment, without the constant scanning for signs that they might leave. Imagine waking up without that quiet dread in the background. Imagine conversations that build rather than erode. Imagine a love that feels like expansion rather than contraction. You do not need to chase this. You do not need to force anything or manipulate circumstances to make it happen. What is aligned moves naturally, like water finding its level. Doors open without you breaking them down, without exhausting yourself pushing against resistance. Conversations unfold without hidden agendas or games, flowing with honesty and curiosity. Feelings deepen without pressure, growing in the quiet spaces between words and actions. Trust the pace, even when it feels slow. Trust the process, even when it asks you to wait. Trust the quiet confidence growing inside you, the knowing that says you are worthy just as you are. If you are done chasing and ready to receive, type 555 and declare, I receive what is aligned with my destiny. The name written into your destiny will not arrive as a mystery forever. It will become clear at the right moment, when recognition replaces doubt, when your heart leaps before your mind can question it. You will not have to convince yourself or list pros and cons or seek external validation. Your soul will respond before your thoughts catch up, with a quiet yes that resonates through every part of you. There will be a knowing that does not need proof, that stands firm even when logic tries to interfere. Remember this when impatience rises, when the waiting feels unbearable and doubt creeps in again. What is coming is not late. It is precise. It is intentional. Every delay has served a purpose, clearing space, healing old patterns, preparing both of you for something sustainable. And it is already closer than you think. The person you have prayed for, cried over, wondered about in quiet moments, they are moving through their own journey, drawing nearer with each step. The door you have been praying for is not somewhere far away in an uncertain future. It is right in front of you now, waiting for you to stop looking back long enough to notice it, to turn the handle and step through. I am with you as this unfolds. You are not walking into this alone. There is guidance all around you, in the signs, in the feelings, in the quiet nudges that say keep going. Be gentle with yourself in this season. Allow the tenderness. Allow the hope without punishing yourself for it. Stay open, even when it feels risky. Stay grounded, rooted in your own truth rather than swept away by fantasy. Stay honest with your heart, tell it what you truly desire, without censorship or shame. Release what no longer feels true. Let go of connections that require you to shrink or perform or chase endlessly. Let go of old stories about why you are not enough, about how love always leaves or demands too much. Make space, emotional space, mental space, physical space, for what is arriving. Clear the clutter of past hurts so there is room for new growth. This is not about forgetting the past, but about integrating it, allowing it to inform rather than control. What was written before you were born is now moving toward manifestation. The alignment is real, orchestrated with care beyond what we can see. The intention is sincere, coming from a place of depth and authenticity. And the love meant for you is already on its way, gathering momentum, crossing paths and timelines to reach you. Think about the moments in your life when things fell into place unexpectedly, opportunities that appeared just when you needed them, people who entered your life at the perfect time to teach or support you. This is no different, only deeper. The universe has been preparing you through every heartbreak and every triumph, shaping you into the version of yourself ready to receive without fear. You might feel moments of doubt still, and that is okay. Doubt does not disqualify you. It simply reminds you that you are human, that you have been hurt before. But beneath the doubt, there is a current of faith growing stronger. Listen to that. Nurture it. Speak to it kindly when fear tries to drown it out. Imagine the day you meet this person, or recognize them if they are already in your orbit. Imagine the ease of being yourself fully, without masks or apologies. Imagine building something together that feels like partnership rather than struggle. Imagine waking up grateful not just for them, but for the journey that brought you here. This is not fantasy. This is possibility becoming reality. There will be days when the waiting feels heavy, when old patterns try to pull you back into chasing or settling. On those days, come back to this truth: you are worthy of love that feels like peace. You are worthy of someone who sees you clearly and chooses you anyway. You are worthy of a connection that grows your spirit rather than diminishes it. Keep tending to yourself in the meantime. Keep healing. Keep growing. Keep doing the things that light you up, that make you feel alive and whole on your own. This is not about waiting passively, but about living fully while remaining open. The right person will enhance your life, not complete it, because you are already complete. Feel the shift happening within you. The softening around your heart. The quiet excitement that bubbles up unexpectedly. The way certain songs or moments now feel like messages meant just for you. These are all part of the unfolding. You have carried so much alone for so long, often without anyone truly seeing the weight you were holding. You learned how to be strong not because you wanted to be, but because you had to be. You learned how to keep going even when your heart was tired, even when your hope felt thin, even when it seemed easier to close yourself off than to risk being disappointed again. You became resilient through necessity, not ease. And that resilience deserves to be honored, not exploited. It deserves rest. It deserves gentleness. It deserves a season where you no longer have to prove how much you can endure. Now, there is a quiet invitation being extended to you. Not a demand. Not a test. An invitation. An invitation to let yourself be carried a little too. To stop bracing for impact in moments that are meant to be soft. To lean without calculating how you will catch yourself if everything collapses. To receive without counting who owes whom, without preparing an exit plan, without measuring whether you've earned what is being offered. This is unfamiliar territory if you've always been the one holding everything together. But unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. Sometimes unfamiliar is simply what healing feels like before it becomes home. The love moving toward you is not blind. It does not see a polished version of you or an edited highlight reel. It sees the whole landscape of who you are. It sees the strength that carried you through difficult seasons, and it sees the tenderness you learned to hide so it wouldn't be wounded again. It sees the light you give so freely to others, and it sees the shadows you sometimes fear make you too much or not enough. And still, it chooses all of it. Not parts. Not conditions. All of you. This love does not ask you to shrink to fit its expectations. It does not ask you to silence your truth to keep the peace. It does not ask you to leave pieces of yourself at the door in order to be acceptable. Instead, it invites you to bring everything. Your joy and your doubt. Your confidence and your questions. Your past and your becoming. It is not intimidated by your depth or your history. It is drawn to your honesty. It recognizes the courage it takes to remain open after you've been hurt. It honors the work you've done to arrive here. As this connection draws nearer, you may notice subtle shifts within yourself. Emotions you thought were settled may rise again, not to harm you, but to be released fully this time. Old fears may surface, whispering reminders of what once went wrong, testing whether you will retreat or stay present. Let them come. Let them pass. They are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something is changing. When healing deepens, it often stirs what was buried but not resolved. This is not regression. This is clearing. At the same time, new hopes may begin to rise, sometimes gently, sometimes all at once. You may catch yourself imagining moments you once told yourself not to imagine anymore. You may feel excitement paired with caution, anticipation braided with vulnerability. This mixture is natural. It means your heart is waking up again, stretching after a long season of self-protection. Breathe through it. Trust the process. Every release creates space. Every letting go makes room for something that can stay. You are stepping into a season of reciprocity. A season where effort flows both ways. Where listening is mutual and respect is consistent. Where growth is shared rather than demanded from only one side. You are moving toward laughter that heals instead of distracts, conversations that deepen rather than confuse, and silence that feels safe instead of heavy. You are moving toward touch that communicates presence and care, and companionship that feels like home rather than another place you have to earn your way into. In moments when uncertainty arises, resist the urge to rush for clarity or control. Stay still. Breathe deeply. Let yourself remember that what is meant for you does not require chasing or proving. It does not need to be forced into place. It will recognize you as you recognize it. It will meet you where you are, not where you pretend to be. What is truly aligned with you cannot miss you, and it cannot pass you by. It will find you, stay with you, and grow with you. The whisper you felt when you read these words was not random. It was not imagination. It was a quiet confirmation, a gentle reassurance from something greater than fear, something wiser than doubt. It was a reminder that you are seen even in moments when you feel unnoticed. That you are known beyond your explanations. That you are walking the right path, even if the next few steps are not fully visible yet. This is only the beginning. The beginning of trusting more deeply, not just others, but yourself. The beginning of opening more fully, without abandoning your boundaries. The beginning of receiving more abundantly, without guilt or hesitation. You are learning that receiving is not weakness. It is balance. It is allowing life to meet you halfway after you've spent so long carrying everything alone. There is beauty waiting for you in this love, and not only in the grand moments. There is beauty in the ordinary. In shared coffee in the morning, where silence feels comfortable instead of awkward. In quiet evenings on the couch, where presence matters more than words. In the way they look at you when they think you are not noticing, when admiration shows up without performance. There is beauty even in the challenges, because you will not face them alone. You will face them with patience, understanding, and a shared commitment to grow rather than withdraw. You have waited, but not in vain. You were not being punished or forgotten. You were being prepared. Every tear you shed softened you without breaking you. Every lesson you learned refined your discernment. Every time you stood back up, you strengthened your capacity to love without losing yourself. You did not waste your time or your heart. You were becoming someone who could recognize and receive what is real. Now is not the time to harden. It is the time to soften. To receive. To allow. To stop holding love at arm's length and let it meet you where you are. The love you have longed for is not a dream deferred or a fantasy meant only for others. It is a promise unfolding in its own perfect timing, aligned with who you are now, not who you used to be. Feel it approaching, not with urgency, but with steadiness. Feel the peace that comes from knowing you do not have to force anything into place. You are ready, even if your mind sometimes argues otherwise. Your heart knows. It has always known. Stay open. Stay true to yourself. Stay soft in the places that matter most. What is coming is worth every moment of waiting. Worth every healing step you have taken, even the painful ones. Worth every time you chose growth over bitterness. It is coming gently, without chaos, without games, without confusion. And when it arrives, you will know. Not through anxiety, but through calm recognition. Not through intensity alone, but through peace. You will know beyond doubt. You will know with every cell of your being. This is your time. This is your love. This is your becoming. If you feel this message was meant for you, affirm your faith by typing 777 and saying, I trust divine timing. I trust divine love. Stay still. Stay open. The whisper you felt was real. And it is only the beginning of something beautiful, something enduring, something truly meant for you.